Good morning, everybody, and welcome to episode 51 of the Michael Pina Senior Show. It's May 17, 2018, and I'm your host, Michael Pina Senior. Listen, Jay Shetty said, when you learn a little, you feel you know a lot. But when you learn a lot, you realize you know very little. And that's how I'm starting to feel about the whole Mount Ida situation with UMass Amherst. I went to the Senate committee hearing yesterday. I had a couple of pictures and stuff like that. I tried to do my best at recording, and I wasn't too successful. I just don't have the equipment to be able to properly get the stuff out there. But I do got to give my opinion because I was there for about 4 hours listening to testimony from students, from Mount Ida, Board of Trustees, and UMass Amherst. So I do have some of my own opinions, so I'm going to share that with you. But I tell you right now, this is still a financial show. It all comes down to going into debt. And I hope that anybody and everybody watching me or listening to me and is following the whole Mount Ida situation understands that the way that what debt can do to you can absolutely, change your life in such a negative way. And that's what happened at Mount Ida. I mean, and one of the things that I try to tell you as far as staying out of debt, you can't borrow your way out of debt. And that's what it sounds like to me that Mount Ida tried to do. It's like they tried to borrow money to take care of debt in hopes that they would make more money. So they borrowed more money. And it's almost as if that credit ran out and they had no other choice but to sell their assets, which hurt a lot of people in this case. And if in your personal life, you get into debt like that and you're selling your assets, you're going to hurt your family. And that's what you don't want to have to do. You don't want to have to sell your house. You don't want to have to sell stuff to get out of debt. Just stay out of debt. Don't try to borrow your way out of debt because that's not going to help you. It's not, the fact that you need more money. It's the person or the people in the case of Mount Ida that are running the entire financial situation there. And they should have gotten a financial coach. If you need a financial coach, please get in touch with me at coachp2210@yahoo.com. All right. So listen, I'm going to get into what I took away from the Senate hearing. Okay. First of all, Barry Brown didn't even show up. And Senate Committee Chair Kathleen O'Connor Ives, who kind of proceeded over the whole thing. So they're going to probably subpoena President Barry Brown, which I think would be great. I'd go back and listen to see what he has to say because there's definitely a lot of questions that were definitely unanswered. Why didn't Mount Ida seek Chapter 11 bankruptcy, which one question was asked and that couldn't be answered. And they asked again about LaSalle College. Why couldn't they have absorbed Mount Ida? And supposedly they couldn't handle the debt. So that may or may not be true. And it'd be nice that they couldn't even talk about LaSalle College because they had a non-disclosure clause in the contracts that they were going over. When exactly did they start talking to UMass Amherst? That is another question that was kind of iffy because supposedly the deal fell through LaSalle on March 22nd, and then March 23rd they're talking to UMass Amherst, and all of a sudden the deal's all set and done by April 6th. So that seems a little shady, obviously, but and I hope that I don't lose some listeners and stuff like that here. But it was a complete business deal. Mount Ida was definitely going to close. They've been in debt since 2014. And although they kept on saying, why didn't you advertise that? Why didn't you let students know? It would have been a complete shit show. Everybody, it would have been, everybody would have been, it would have been a flight. Nobody would have ever gone. They would have closed the doors a lot sooner if they let everybody know. But they've been in financial difficulties for many, many, many years, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, they went back as far as 2014, maybe even further back than that. Barry Brown would be able to answer that better. But I mean, it all goes to making your budget. I mean, I don't know who's making that budget there, but I mean, you look at your budget and you say, can I spend money? What money do we have? Do we need more money coming in? It's just the same way with your personal life. You've got to make a budget. And I would have liked to seen who was making that budget at Mount Ida, because obviously they would have known back in 2012 that they had a problem with that budget. They probably would have known before then. So you would have had a income problem, coming in, the money coming in, and they could have been, or maybe could have been some things done at that time. And maybe they should have shut their doors in 2012. I don't know. I mean, I would have liked to have looked at that budget and been able to say whether or not they could have gotten help. They should have sought better financial assistance, better financial help, because they obviously didn't get the recommendations that would have helped them. They try to borrow their way out of debt. They try to do things that would have put themselves more into debt, like as far as they were saying they were going to lease out the dorms and everything. It just sounded like a mess, an absolute mess. And obviously the students, the other ones that have gotten hurt over the entire situation. And, the hardest hit majors were the dental hygienists, the funeral management, and the vet tech. Unfortunately, those majors are specialized majors and very difficult to, kind of continue education in that. And I think there should be some financial, retribution, I guess you could say. And Barry Brown, again, didn't show up. So it's like, who's going to help financially? And all the professors out of work. I mean, I found out you got 3 months severance pay, and the professors didn't even show up to testify. There was one adjunct professor. She probably didn't get any severance, so she showed up. They were afraid not to get that severance pay. I mean, I would have shown up. I mean, 3 months. I mean, come on, that's garbage. They should have given at least a year of severance pay. I mean, again, that's my opinion, and I'm giving my opinions here as far as a lot of this is concerned. And UMass Boston, and I hope I don't lose you when I say this, but I mean, it was a complete business deal by UMass Amherst, complete business deal. And it was a great business deal as far as I'm concerned. If I'm on the other side at UMass Amherst, I hate to say it, I'm a Warren Buffett guy. And Warren Buffett, the way that he buys companies, he looks at companies that have that are absolutely, maybe in debt, which Mount Ida was, but the upside is just absolutely incredible. And the upside of Mount Ida campus is just, it's an incredible upside. So it's a great business move by UMass Amherst. And as far as that concerned, and I'd have to look into this more, that each UMass campus is supposed to be self-sustaining. They're supposed to take in the money from tuitions, and they're supposed to use that. And this is what Marty Meehan said yesterday. So again, I'm going off of his testimony. And if that's true, UMass Boston is in trouble financially. That $30 million in debt. So they got some problems there that I don't know if the state's going to help them, if UMass Amherst is going to help them. But as far as Marty Meehan was concerned, he ain't going to help you. I guess he's going to try to put some other people in place over there, but he's not going to help you financially. They're going to take care of themselves financially. UMass Amherst, brought up some good points that the number of students going to school are dropping every single year. As the population's dropping, the amount of students are dropping, and you got guys like me saying that, what is a college education really worth to some people? Going to school just to go to school isn't worth what it should be, what it used to be. Okay, so it was a complete business deal, and I hate to say it, and I got to tell the truth, because run my platform on honesty. It was a great business deal by UMass Amherst. It was a steal as far as I'm concerned, because I looked up what an acre of land in Newton is worth, and an acre of land in Newton is worth $1.25 million. 74 acres at Mount Ida, which equals out to $92.5 million. Just the land is worth, not the buildings and everything else. And I guess that the finalized deal is $98 million, which is paying off all the debt. And they're not even assuming really the debt. It's going into Mount Ida still has to pay off that debt. So it was an incredible deal for UMass Amherst. And as a business guy, you got to take that deal, because just like they said, as far as, work, study, and the co-op problems are concerned, being that close to Boston with the campus that beautiful and right there, it's prime real estate that you just can't get anywhere else. And they went after a company, or a school in this case, that was completely down in the dumps and looking for a desperate way out of debt. So again, it's a lesson to be learned. I mean, you're going to sell your home on pennies on the dollar because you're desperate in debt to get out of debt if you're in trouble like that. And that's exactly what Mount Ida did. And students should be mad at Mount Ida. I can't be mad at UMass Amherst. I'm sorry. It was a great business deal by them. And UMass Boston, you're probably not going to like that I'm saying that, but it's just the truth. It's just the truth. And if you're going to point your fingers at anybody and you're going to be pissed off at anybody, you got to be pissed off with Barry Brown, because I think that, he knew about this years and years ago. So, I mean, who he had in place to run his finances, to put together the Mount Ida budget, I got no clue. But I tell you right now, that's where you were failed. That's where everybody was failed, is whoever put together the budget, whoever put together the money going out, because they had no money to go out, because they weren't getting enough money coming in. It's like, if you're doing your own personal budget and you're in the negative, you got a problem every single month if your budget isn't being balanced correctly. So, again, I'm not trying to, disassociate myself with anybody. I hope that you stay with me, but I got to just tell it the way that it is. I found out a lot, and that's why I put that quote out by Jay Shetty. I learned a little as I was going on through this process, and I thought I knew a lot. But as I'm starting to learn a lot, I'm starting to realize I know very little. So, I mean, and I'm sure there's a lot more that I need to learn. And, I could be completely wrong. You can call me out on what I'm saying right now. But, I'd still be pissed off at Mount Ida. I mean, it's just a situation where they completely, did wrong by the students, the faculty and staff there. And, there should have been something, and somebody else should have been able to step in place. They should have gotten a financial coach. So if you're in some kind of financial debt, or if you feel that, you need help anyway financially, please get in touch with me. That's why I started the show, so you could see that I am an honest guy, and I wouldn't send you down the path of $1 million debt. I wouldn't have done that to Mount Ida. If you're a business out there and you're in debt, get in touch with me. I'm a financial coach. I'm not going to sell you a bill of goods that are going to set you up to fail. And that's what Mount Ida was. They were set up to fail. So you can take it as it is. I mean, it's a little different. Please subscribe to my show at youtube.com/mpina2210. And go to podbean.com. and find me at the Michael Pina Senior Show podcast. And I thank everybody for subscribing to my show. I hope you stay with me. A lot of great people out there have been following me. Tom B, I hope that this last episode didn't piss you off or anything like that. But I mean, I just got to tell it the way that it is. And I thank everybody for commenting on my last show. It was very heartfelt and true and honest, and that's what I'm sticking with. I'm sticking to a true and honest show because that's the way that I am, and that's the way that Mount Ida should have been to you. They weren't true and honest, and that's how you can make your decisions, and that's why I started this, so you can make a decision whether or not you want me to make you your coach. Because all I'm going to be is true and honest with you, whether you like it or not, whether you like what I have to say or not. But listen, I'm still living my passion one day at a time. I want to win. I want you to win. Go to podbean.com. It's going to be a different kind of show there. And let's win together.